What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, we got an interesting one here. Never thought I'd get into videos like this, but me and my guy Dream Team Neil been talking about Andrew Tate here lately, and my guy was like, "Bro, you got to check out this video with this debate, basically this conversation." And as we all know, I know Andrew Tate pretty much just been canceled off of everything, and they took him off all social media and stuff pretty much, I guess, for speaking his mind. And me personally, people gonna always have stuff to say. I mean, hey, I do YouTube. People always saying crazy stuff. I'm always saying crazy stuff, probably. But should you be canceled for it? Probably not. But I don't know what happened to freedom of speech here in the States. But I guess freedom of speech only exists when it's freedom of speech only exists when everybody agrees with it, I guess. But if they don't agree, then it's not freedom of speech. But I don't know. But we're gonna check this out. Andrew Tate defends himself against Piers Morgan. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Send down those recommendations.
Andrew Tate's the most famous man you've probably never heard of, but the chances are your children will have. Videos of Tate have been viewed billions of times online. He's built an enormous following of mostly young men, and his often scandalous views about women that have made him notorious across the world. Views like this.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
Tate's opinions on mental illness.
That is true. That is true. I don't know about property, but that's true. I mean, a man, the father do walks the daughter down.
Are equally controversial.
I don't believe in depression. Don't message me about depression because I don't believe in it. If you're asleep in your bed in the middle of the night and you hear a noise and you believe in ghosts, now you're afraid. But if you don't believe in ghosts, it's the wind and you go back to sleep. You give the ghosts power by believing in them.
Interesting take. Hey, my guy, I feel like so far, just with those two clips, it's his opinion. Me personally, do I think depression is real? Yes. Have I been depressed? No. I've been disappointed. I've never been depressed. But I've seen depressed people, and most times it ain't always what we seen. But I mean, my God, that's just his opinion. That's just like me saying, "Oh, I never been depressed." Somebody would probably disagree with me for saying I never been depressed. But do I believe it's real? Absolutely. It can get there. You can get there for sure.
Well, this summer, every major social media platform banned Tate amid a global backlash and concerns about his influence on the young people who watch him. But copies of his videos are still shared millions of times every day. This show is called Uncensored. One of the challenges views directly, so he flew from Romania to sit here in this studio, and the full explosive interview airs later this week. Here's a bit of what's to come. Do you respect women?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
Do you think that 18, 19-year-old women are more attractive than 25-year-old women?
I think there's attractive people. That's a loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
It is
I
pretty
can't
You know
loaded.
why I'm asking you?
Of course I do, but I can't
This
say
sounds like an R. Kelly interrogation.
loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I
You
can't.
know
say,
why I'm asking you?
Of course I do, but I can't sit here
Well,
and
for
say.
the benefit of viewers who don't know why I'm asking, you said this. In general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to blow up the internet? I'll blow up the internet right effing now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. People say, "Oh, you can't say that," but yes, I can. A 19.
I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty funny. That's wild. That is wild. But I mean, his opinion, I can't say, shoot, as you start getting older, everybody done been through something.
Been through less dick. People say, "Oh, you can't say that," but yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been effed and dumped more times,
Dang.
more arguments, more mess, more for me to clean up. That is misogyny.
Why?
Because you are encouraging a mindset about 25-year-old women that makes them sound out to be infinitely less desirable than 18, 19-year-olds, and having effectively been having too much sex.
It
to
sounds
be
like
taken
just his
in a more
preference type
respectful
thing.
way.
That would, well, firstly, even if that was the case, that wouldn't be misogyny.
Well, what did you mean by what you said?
That's not misogyny because it's not anti-women. I'm saying that an 18 or a 19-year-old woman would be more desirable.
Pretty anti-25-year-old woman.
Anti-25-year-old women we can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny, then, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well, being anti any woman at all is misogyny.
Not when I'm saying that women are beautiful and attractive at a certain age.
I mean, I've seen women, especially on Twitter, and this is me because I'm on Twitter a lot, and I definitely see women on Twitter saying they don't want to be with a broke man. You know, so of course, me personally, I think today's time it seems like younger women go for older men because they don't want a man that don't have anything. That's just what I see. That's my personal opinion. But I mean, his opinion. I mean, if that's what he thinks, because I mean, if you're 25 and that woman's 25, chances are y'all been doing the same thing. So, I mean, a 25-year-old still would be attracted to another 25-year-old. Me personally, but I mean, I feel like so far, I mean, Tate, he's not getting mad at this. He just saying, well, you know, that's not exactly what I said type thing, you know? So I feel like he's pretty calm. He pretty chill, like, with defending what he said.
And saying the age.
You're saying 18, 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25.
Well, than ageist, perhaps, but misogynistic, absolutely
Is that
not.
but you just accepted it was misogyny?
No, I didn't. You said it was misogyny. I'm telling you, no, it's not.
But if a 26-year-old woman is watching this and has heard those comments, would you just say to her, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that?
No, I won't. I will say that I am sorry that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry if that
I feel like he's not making it personally because, I mean, that woman at 25, 26, I mean, of course, in the next couple of years, they won't be.
There's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry if that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world that believe that, and I was mediating for a conversation.
Parts of the world that believe that about 26-year-old women are parts of the world where women are not allowed out on their own.
That's a conversation.
They have to wear full burqas.
Well, that's a conversation.
They're not allowed to drive cars.
That's nothing to do with me.
But is that the kind of world for women that you?
I was mediating a conversation.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I don't.
Dang, I ain't gonna lie. He like forcing these questions on him.
So you're using that as the excuse for why you're not sorry for saying it.
It's not an excuse.
Is that there are parts of the world where this is fine?
My friend.
So my question to you is, well, do you think it's fine?
I don't think it's fine. I live in a world where
it's an interrogation room right here.
The reason
this isn't that hard, Andrew. You can simply say, Piers, you know what? With the benefit of
I mean, with the stuff Tate said, of course, he got a lot of controversy. But this other guy seems more, Piers Morgan seemed more mad than him.
The reason
this isn't that hard, Andrew. You can simply say, Piers, you know what? With the benefit of hindsight, I wish I hadn't said it like that. And if a 26-year-old woman's watching, I'm sorry I said that. Because
I feel like this is the same grief that, man, what's his name? Kevin Samuels was getting. Kevin Samuels got a lot of grief like this. But, I mean, even with Kevin Samuels, he was like, you know, I talk to guys the same way. Y'all just repost what I tell the women type of thing. So I don't know, cause I feel like what he says. There's a woman out there that says the same thing about men. That's what I personally, and I see it too. I can't say who, but I do see it. I see it a lot. Actually, the world is a double standard.
Misogynist, and even though that's a view held by other parts of the world, it's not a view I share. Now, I would respect you more if you said that than if you try and say, well, it's said in other parts of the world, so I'm not sorry.
I think
that doesn't tell me what you think.
Then you need to understand why my content existed in the first place. My content existed because I tried my very hardest to be an absolute and utter realist, especially with uncomfortable truths. I was pointing out that very uncomfortable.
Is that a truth?
It's an uncomfortable truth in many parts of the world. It's not a truth that I'm happy about.
An inquest this week found that a 14-year-old girl, Molly Russell, died from an act of self-harm while suffering from depression and the negative effects of online content. The coroner said she was exposed to material that may have influenced her in a negative way, and in addition, what started as depression had become a much more serious depressive illness, and she very sadly took her life.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Right.
Terrible.
Her father's campaign for better protections against potentially dangerous social media algorithms, right? It says that the particularly graphic content she saw romanticized acts of self-harm, normalized her condition, and focused on a limited and irrational view without any counterbalance of normality. First of all, what is your response?
That is, before he says something, that's a sad case right there. But with most parts, when it comes to content, like, there's, like, you're not going to know what you're going to see. You never know what you're going to see when it comes to social media. And why I feel like that shouldn't be on him when he's not the only one posting harmful content. It's a lot of people. I feel like if I'm the parents, I'm holding the social media sites accountable, because I can't blame one man if he had a certain opinion about something like that. Is depression real? Yes, but we can choose what content we want to look at. If we see something we don't like, we can easily say, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to see this. Being young, we always see certain things. Like, me personally, I think 14's old enough to make that decision to say, I don't want to watch this, you know?
To that. Nothing to do with you.
That's the first thing. Yeah, it is nothing to do with me. The fact that a 14-year-old girl took her life is truly sad. The world we live in today is... The fact that something like that happened is almost mind-blowing to me. That's truly sad. I actually feel sad inside to see something like that.
What has come clear to me in the interview is that a lot of things you say you wouldn't say now that you've said before.
But I'd say them differently, perhaps.
Yeah. Right. So
everything depends on how you receive them, how you say them.
Not just that you want to get back on platforms, because maybe that was one of the reasons you were no platform, but that you've recognized and understood the potential harm to the wrong kind of impressionable mind by some of the things you've said. Would that be fair?
I think that's 80% fair. I recognize and understand that with massive fame, you have to be more careful about being misconstrued. Like I said earlier, 1% of people misunderstanding you doesn't matter with a small audience. It matters with a very large audience. With power comes responsibility. I still believe the things I say. I do not want to be a negative force for the world. I also understand that I am a man who's lived a very difficult, nuanced life, and I am capable of making nuanced points that may be misunderstood by teenagers. However, that can be said about anybody and everything. Yeah. Every opinion online can be misunderstood by children.
That's a fact.
Trying to protect children from the internet is a very interesting subject in and of itself, because I would argue that 80% of the content on the internet can be negative or detrimental to a young mind that doesn't understand the world.
That's a fact. That, I ain't gonna lie. That's a fact. Like, and you know, my mom used to always even tell us, like, I can't protect y'all from everything. I can teach y'all, I can, do this, but I ain't gonna be able to protect y'all for everything. But it's gonna be up to you to learn. Like, even with my kids, like, you're not gonna be able to protect your kids from everything. Like, there gonna be some things they might get exposed to that you never got exposed to, but you gotta just let them know and teach them what to be cautious for, But all in all, I thought Tate handled it well. The things he said, he's right. The things you say can be interpreted wrong. People can receive them differently. If he should have said it differently, that's what he's going with. He's like, I still believe it, but I could have said it differently, because guess what? There's somebody that feels the same way that will say the same thing as he, but that person don't have a big audience. So the responsibility comes as you're growing. Like, even with me on YouTube, I can't just be out here just saying anything myself, especially if I put myself in a light of positivity and making right decisions type thing. I couldn't be doing that, but all in all, like, your delivery matters. Are you going to be able to protect your children, anybody, from social media and the content? No, like, things pop up, the algorithms and stuff. Like, that's something when it comes to Instagram, TikTok, that's something they got to fix. Because I know for sure on TikTok, like, once you like a certain video, they're going to recommend that, like, or even the algorithm for your phone. Or no, really, like Facebook, for instance. I think I was looking for, like, workout clothes. All of a sudden, I start getting a bunch of ads about workout clothes on Facebook. So even your search engine, it's just a search engine. What you look up, those things start popping up. That's just how it's been working. But like I said, Shoot, Piers Morgan, I feel like that was like an R. Kelly type of interrogation. Like, he seemed more upset than Andrew Tate, rather it being like a conversation, but he seemed upset. So I guess there's more to it. Like I said, this just says just a preview. So maybe when the real thing, the full thing comes out, I'll definitely check it out. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts about this. Freedom of speech. I feel like as time been going on, it's definitely becoming not a thing. It's freedom of speech until you offend someone. That's just my opinion. And like I said, I do YouTube. Like, people say crazy things to me all the time. You know, even if y'all don't see it, I see it most of the time. I try to delete it fast or whatever. Like, cause I have to just delete it, but cause I'm like, who cares? I delete it, blah blah blah. You know, move on. I don't throw a pity party me myself, but hey, it's freedom of speech until you offend somebody. That's what the world has come to. The world is a double standard, for sure. But that's all I have. Hit that subscribe button. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.